What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Duel commentary. Got to get back on my DN Duel grind. We have cooking that Yayo 565 versus Nye 455. He's got double monk. He has dark arm. He has the long arm of the law on the field, and he's getting paid right now. Seriously. Whoa, looks like he's going for a big rank 4, maybe Deltaros. Whoa, I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay, it's what's it called? It's Tellarknight, Palatimos. Cool. This is an OCG duel, I believe, so you may see some weird shit. Looks like he's bringing out Cyber Infinity, and, god damn. I just don't see a way that you get through Cyber Infinity and Dank Law. It's a wrap. Well, I guess if your opponent has that on board, you can. He did tribute summon that, and it does have astronomical 2600 defense. So I did see Nye play against somebody with this deck. Unfortunately, he kind of scraped him, and it was in game 3. Didn't get a chance to really get anything great. I was like, I do have standards on this channel. I don't want to just upload any crap. So, I mean, I'm still going to say cooking that Yayo's in a good position. By the way, the combatants are cooking that Yayo. No, wait, I think I just told you that. 565, 1455 for Nye. This field is nuts. You're talking about Dank Law, which again is going to make sure everything gets banished. Now I believe that Nye is playing. Well, actually, check this. The dude's deck is like 60 cards. I'm not even going to spoil everything. All you need to know is that there's Zefra in here. There's Zhang Zing. It's like a little bit of everything. But Dank Law should really handle his deck. You see, he had to set the Rota because he didn't want to use it. He didn't want Dank Law just searching. The question will be, will he go for that Black Rose play? And I don't even know if he runs it. Okay, so it looks like he's going to get booked. Again, I'm pretty sure he was trying to go for a Black Rose play maybe. But I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing that comes to the top of my mind, or that comes to the top of my head. So, looks like he's going to lose that Chi win. No way that thing's ever coming back. I mean, if he went for the Black Rose play, couldn't he have just negated it with Cyber Dragon Infinity, though? I mean, I'm just making sure I read this effect right. If a card or effect is activated, I'm pretty sure Black Rose has an effect. I just don't know what he could have Exceed for, or what he could have Synchro for. That would have been 7 stars that he could have just, Book of Mooned it. Just waited, right? So, I mean, I guess he felt like he didn't want to risk it, so whatever. He's gonna Rota now. Shadow Mist would be good here. That's even if he runs it. This is OCG, so who knows? He is going to get that Shadow Mist. Okay, maybe he Mass Change. If he has Mass Change, he's going to win. Yeah, if he has Mass Change, all he has to do is have an Anki in his deck. And, oh, nope, looks like he's going to, he's going to put that material under Cyber Dragon Infinity. He gets that extra attack. Keep in mind, Nye can't do anything about this. Nye cannot Valor. He can't Maxi or any of that junk. And now Dank Law's getting it in. I guess he just wanted to power up his Cyber Dragon Infinity. Now, when he does detach that Shadow Mist, he will get another card. So, this is kind of crazy. Again, I have to kind of slow down a little bit because this is an OCG duel. I know some of these OCG cards, but I don't know their effects verbatim. You know what I mean? I don't know every single inch in detail. When they come into TCG, of course I will. I'll have to know because most of these cards will be relevant. Now, I don't know if I see a way out of this duel for Nye. But it's cool that he's not scooping because we're going to be able to see more cards and I guess try and analyze his deck of his crazy deck that has, I mean, again, right here, it includes the Genlock. That's all you need to know. If he's playing the Genlock, that means somehow he has to have ritual monsters. But today is just, this is not going to be his duel. He has 9 in the graveyard, 5 in hand, 46 in deck. That is, if I count correctly, that definitely equals 60 cards. So, I mean, 46 plus 9, that's 55. The 4 in his hand makes 59. The 1 card on the field makes 60. So, the Gen is definitely not real in this duel. And you see that lockdown is crazy. It's funny because, you know, in the TCG, we have the Genlock, and it's kind of like the be-all, end-all. But, man, it's like you ain't seen nothing until you seen Cyber Dragon Infinity. This is what they have in the OCG, and you see that. You know, it's so damn easy to make. Can you imagine just this and Sir Talonite, man? You know, or even this card right now with what's it called? Can you imagine this card right now with Star Seraphs? It would just be nutty. So cooking that Yayo, obviously he gets that win. Nye just said, man, forget it. I think the fact that he got another monster, you saw him flip over the E-Call, he felt like he was probably going to get game that turn. Now the thing about it is in the OCG, they must have to cut out a lot. Like they had to trim a lot of the fat, because you have to think, right? Like he's running heroes and he has room for Cyber Dragon Infinity and the Tellarknight monster. That's 2 extra spots, you know, and probably playing an Elder God Nodin too. So that's like really, he only has 12 real spots to work with. Like if you're playing in the OCG, you have to run like probably a Nodin, an Infinity. Well, he has to run a Nova too, right? That's like 4 spots. So you think the extra decks are tight here, man. They're super tight in the OCG. And when I first saw the Tellarknight, the one that's coming out in Cross Souls, the Planeteer Tellarknight guy, at first I thought, well, it's really good, but I don't know if we're going to have the space for it. But then, you know, they came out with Infinity in the OCG, and I was like, fuck, you kind of have to. This dude is like maybe one of the best lockdown monsters ever. I mean, I think he pretty much is. Like if you just based on his effects, like this dude is on, I think it's better than Quasar. Like, yeah, I mean, it's obviously way more practical than Quasar, but like the fact that you get the Absorber monster, then still negate, and you get attack for the monster you absorb, like that's way too good. So I'm a little shocked that Nye's gonna let Cooking That Yayo go first. Not because I think he'll throw Cyber Infinity out, but I think that there's a good chance he could throw a Dark Law out, and that's kind of a card that I wouldn't want to deal with. But we didn't really see Nye put up much resistance. I mean, did we see him play any traps that game? So I'm guessing he feels like, well, I don't play any traps anyway, so I might as well have more cards. I might as well try and get dark holes and Regekis and stuff, have a better chance at getting at those cards. You see him summon a Beyond and just attack and not put anything else out. Again, I don't think Nye plays any traps, or at least we haven't seen any traps. So the chance of Nye doing this right here, that Cooking the Yayo is doing, I don't see it happening. Now, if there's a mass change down there, this shit's going to get really ugly really quickly, because he's going to lose that Beyond. His opponent is going to assert, oh, there's that mass change. He didn't even have to have it set. He had it in his hand. And this duel is going to get really ugly because Dark Law's out. He'll obviously be able to search for Shadow Mist. What he gets, I guess, is, I mean, that's his prerogative. Okay, so he takes Bubble Man. I thought maybe he might get a Niels Alias because, you know, beater. I don't really think that he had anything to use Shadow Mist or, Bubble Man with. So, Beyond, a great card, but if Yang Zings can't hit the graveyard, I mean, they got no chance. If they're not hitting the graveyard, you're just not doing anything with the deck. So, I think that this is one of those duels where, unfortunately, Nye's deck it's just not gonna work. Okay, so he's gonna activate that Shadow Fusion, but even with a free Shadow Fusion, which technically it's not even free, it's just a 1-for-1, because all you're doing, you're not getting the pluses. Remember how you Shadow Fusion against a Dante, you summon Construct, well, your Construct dumps a dragon, that's a +1. Your Construct dumps a beast, that's another +1. You go +2 off of it. He's only getting a +1, or he's only getting a 1-for-1. Whatever monster he summons, which honestly I wouldn't be shocked if he went Shikanaga here. I think I'd even consider that over Construct. He's going Construct. All it's doing is replacing the Shadow Fusion. He's not getting any pluses because his graveyard is just not a factor. The problem is, look what he has to jump through. He has to jump through 4 hoops to potentially get this attack through. I mean, if any of those cards are live, Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction, Compulse Evacuation Device, Book of Moon, if any of those are like live, then it's just kind of for naught. Now, I mean, I guess Compulse wouldn't be the worst. Actually, no, Book wouldn't be the worst thing, but like Compulse, Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison. So he got rid of the Shadow Core out of his deck. I guess he felt like that wasn't going to be good. There's the Compulse. Keep in mind, this is OCG. Compulse is at 3. It's a thing. So don't think that, like, that's another reason I don't understand why Construct got banned. Like, Compulse is at 3 in the OCG. That seems like that would definitely keep, like, Shadows under wraps. So right now, it's just, man, he's just getting worked. And if that's the only trap he's running in his deck, this Dark Law is just going to ride all day and night. I mean, he can ride this Dark Law until the wheels fall off this bitch. You have to have some legitimate game plan as to how to get this card off the field. I constantly see Necros players use the Dark Law too because they don't run traps. So it's like, oh, I don't have Regeki. I don't have Book of Eclipse. I don't have Dark Law. Oh, well, okay, I guess I just lose the Dark Law. And if the hero player is playing the standard, like, double lance, okay, well, now you really just lose. Because if they lance and they stop whatever card I just named, one of those three, and at that point, you're pretty much, like, you're resorting to, Dark Law is going to go, what, to 1600? Like, you're resorting to having to, like, ram a random monster into it. So you see him trying to play his scale so that he can pendulum summon. Looks like that's not going to work. He hits him with the MST. He's taking out the Zefra Saiton, which is Exoton Knight, as a Zefra. And I guess this is Zefra Naga, who looks like Kirkion. Looks a lot like Kirkion. That gets banished. That does not go to the top of the extra. Same thing if it was a Klee monster. I'm just gonna assume it works on that same principle as if it was a Klee monster. Okay, you see an E-call used. Now I guess it doesn't matter. You could see an OTK here, or not an OTK, but you could see the game. Oh yeah, the game's over. He has a Goblinberg. Oh yes, remember, he has Bubble Man in his hand. He's about to dump his hand out. Pretty sure he's going to dump his hands. Even if he searches a mash change, he can still easily dump his hand. He can special he can set the mash change. He can special Bubble Man. He can go into Excalibur or something like that. Or he can, I guess he can just use these two and not even use the mash change. I mean, not even use the Bubble Man. I mean, either way, unless his opponent has Gores, I guess, should be a pretty easy game here. Now, he could make Acid. I don't really know why he would do that. His opponent has no back row. Hasn't shown us any traps other than Shout Out Core. But this is one of those games where Dark Law hit the field and it was just pretty much over. So it looks like he is going to go for Bubble Man. Dark Law is going to attack. Okay, Shadow Mist is going to attack. And Bubble Man's going to attack. And then again, he could have made Excalibur. He could have made Blade Armor Ninja. He can make Cowboy. So many ways to win here. Looks like he'll make Cowboy. There will be no Effect Veiler, so that's not a thing. And Pew Pew for game. Thank you guys for watching. As always, man, definitely Dark Law getting it in. Now, I don't understand Nod's complaining. He says that if you didn't open Compulse, I mean, he could have legitimately had, like, Bottomless or, you know, not Torrential, but Solemn Warning. Like, there were so many other just decent Mirror Force, Depresent, like, any of those cards, and Construct dies and you just lose the game. So, no need to be salty. Seriously, yeah. Cooking that Yayo is right. Nye was definitely feeling a certain type of way after that game.